Our cover story tonight comes from the Indo-Pacific, a region where China wants to cast its dark clouds of coercion and confrontation. And to counter this, India has started seeking a greater role in the region. Just have a look at some recent developments. As I speak, the former chiefs of India's 3 services are in Taipei. Why? Well, to engage with various sections of the Taiwanese leadership and also to express India's views to them. And this includes Admiral Gambhir Singh, the former chief of the Indian Navy, General M.M. Naravane, the former chief of the Indian Army, and Air Chief Marshal R.K.S. Bhadoria, the former chief of Air Staff of the Indian Air Force. The 3 of them are representing India in Taipei at the Ketagalan Forum's 2023 Indo-Pacific Security Dialogue. And their presence there has resulted in a lot of speculation, especially about India's stand on Chinese aggression against Taiwan. Now remember, the Indian armed forces have been locked in a face-off with the PLA in Ladakh and other places along the line of actual control. Taiwan, for that matter, is also suffering due to aggressive Chinese tactics. And so this move is being seen as India directly backing Taiwan against China. In fact, why just Taiwan? India is also taking a stand against China in the entire Indo-Pacific region. On the 2nd of August, 2 Indian Navy ships docked in Papua New Guinea, the INS Kolkata Guided Missile Destroyer and the INS Sayadri frigate. They embarked on a 5,500 nautical miles for a 2-day visit to the Pacific island nation. And the aim here was to enhance maritime cooperation and security in the region. And this is significant because China is Papua New Guinea's largest trading partner. And a month before this happened, India backed the Philippines in a territorial dispute with China. It revised its position on the 2016 South China Sea arbitration. The revised stance countered Beijing's South China Sea claims and favored Manila. And while doing so, New Delhi reiterated the call for a free, open and inclusive Indo-Pacific and underlined the need for a peaceful settlement of disputes, along with adherence to international law. And that's not all, by the way. India has also gifted an active duty missile corvette to Vietnam, another Southeast Asian country which is involved in a long-standing territorial dispute with China. It gave Vietnam the INS Kirpan, a move which reflected the growing defense partnership between the 2 sides and their common concerns over China's increasingly aggressive behavior in the South China Sea. And it does not end there. India also sent 2 military aircraft to Australia's Coco Islands. The aim was to enhance interoperability between the armed forces of the 2 countries. Now, what do these developments really tell you? That India is seeking the role of a guardian in the Indo-Pacific, especially for countries affected by China's expansionist policies. And observers say that some of the steps are symbolic but important, and they should have been taken years ago. As for the Pacific Island states, they are looking at India's steps in a positive light in their strategic circle. They are looking at India as a balancing factor amid the growing contestation between China and the US in the Indo-Pacific. And these states, by the way, do not want to get caught between the 2 elephants. And for them, India seems to be the better option. And let me remind you here, India is not just building partnerships with the Indo-Pacific nations, it's also strengthening its own capabilities in the region. Have a look at this report. India has initiated discussions with France to develop 6 nuclear-powered attack submarines. And last we checked, the 2 sides were exploring options on a collaborative project for the same. Remember, China boasts an extensive submarine fleet comprising over 70 submarines, and this encompasses 7 nuclear ballistic missile submarines, 12 nuclear attack submarines, and more than 50 diesel attack submarines. And on the other hand, India's conventional submarine fleet mainly dates back to the 1980s. So New Delhi, essentially, is trying to address concerns about its aging capabilities. Now, here's the thing. China's ambitions in the Indo-Pacific are well known. It wants to control this region, also build strategic ports, maintain contingents, station warships, also control shipping routes, and dictate the trade rules. Some nations comply with China's assertive behavior out of economic and domestic compulsions, and others do it to avoid a direct confrontation with Beijing. And this is where India can help them. You know, it can act as a counterweight to Chinese hegemony. And thankfully, many countries in the region are beginning to realize this. WION now available in your country. Download the app now. Get all the updates on the move.